Welcome to Morning Vibes with Dr. Jerry the First, episode 259. It's Thursday, the 31st day of May 2018. My names are Dr. Jerry the First, Oguzie. And this morning I want to tell you, you are fired. Let's say you just walked into your office on a Monday morning and saw a note waiting for you on the table that your boss wants to have a word with you. Smelling no rat and not having done anything wrong, and knowing full well that your feet are solidly planted on the grounds of the company, you stroll to your boss's office and find him seated on his seat. He lifts his eyes to meet yours and begins a long talk on how the company was going through difficult times to the point that it was experiencing difficulty in paying staff salaries and all that. You're trying hard to wrap your head around his talk, but find it difficult too. And then he lets out those three words that make up that dreaded sentence. You are fired. Your head begins to spin. You have to hold onto the table for stability. Your world has just come tumbling down. You have just lost your job due to no fault of yours. You are fired. Some people let the phrase get to them. Others use it as a launching pad to superstardom. In his book, We Are Fired, and it's the best thing that ever happened to us, Harvey Mackay brings us some inspirational stories of rejects who turned out to be celebrities. Turns out the road to fame isn't so smooth after all. See some of them. Elvis Presley. The king got fired from a music studio in 1954. The owner of the music studio told him, "You ain't going nowhere, son. Just go back and drive a truck." Not only did Elvis go out to prove all his detractors wrong, but he ruled the music world like a real king. And today, thousands of Elvis impersonators sing his tunes decades after his death. Walt Disney. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lack of ideas. The Walt Disney Company, with its animated movies, theme parks, television stations, and more, is now a multi-billion-dollar empire. Joan Kathleen, aka J.K. Rowling, the author of the mega-popular Harry Potter books, was sacked from a secretarial job after she got caught using the company's computer to write creative stories. She used her severance pay to write Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, using grant money to finish it after she ran out of cash. The Harry Potter series became a global craze, and Rowling became a billionaire. Lance Armstrong. The French cycling team Cofidis dropped Lance Armstrong after he began treatment for testicular cancer in 1997, with just a 50% chance of survival. They even refused to pay his remaining salary on his medical bills. They gave him up for dead, and that was their greatest undoing. Armstrong not only beat the cancer, but he also won a record 6th consecutive Tour de France in 2004. Larry King. Before he ruled CNN, Larry King wrote a column for the Miami Herald. The Herald's editor fired him for being too chummy with his subjects. His way with people paid off. A few politicians or celebrities ever bypass Larry King Live. If you appear on Larry King Live, you must be happening in the society. But Reynolds. You can't act. But Reynolds was told when he was fired from one of his acting jobs. He later became #1 box office draw for 5 consecutive years. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs co-founded Apple Computer in his garage and then got fired from his own company. Well, he picked up the pieces and bought a majority share in Pixar in 1986. 9 years later, he won an Oscar for Toy Story. And in 1996, he was back to Apple. Abraham Lincoln. Abe Lincoln, as is popularly called, failed in business in 1831 and again in 1833. He became bankrupt. In the meantime, he ran for state legislator and lost. His sweetheart died in 1835. He was heartbroken. And he had a nervous breakdown the following year, in 1836. In 1843, he lost nomination to Congress and was defeated again in 1848 and 1855. In 1856, he lost the vice presidency of the United States of America. Then he ran for senator in 1858 and also lost. But wait for it here. Despite all the losses, despite all the failures, in 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected the President of the United States of America. And the rest, they say, is history. Never, ever, ever say never. Until I come your way again, this is Morning Vibes with Dr. Jerry the First. This program is powered by Top Media and Communication Nigeria. All rights reserved. Thank you for listening to this broadcast today. It would please us to no end if you continue to visit our podcast. And so to be able to do that, kindly click on the red subscribe button towards your right to subscribe to our channel. In the same vein, also click on the bell beside the subscribe button so that you can always receive the notification for any new podcast we upload. Also give us a thumb up to like this podcast. These help us to grow. And do help us share the podcast to your friends in the different social media sites you belong to. Click on the share tab just below the podcast and share directly from there. The full text of this podcast is on our blog, and would you want to read it, kindly visit the blog. We have a Facebook page where we also post our podcast on a daily basis. If you're on Facebook, kindly like our Facebook page. The links to our blog and our Facebook page are in the description box right below. Thank you for your attention. Do have a very nice day.